What's up guys, this is Calvin from Agron Performance, back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you a full uncut dunk warm-up from my first jump, which you just saw, all the way to my last warm-up jump. Then I'm also going to do a quick jump technique analysis of a kid who was asking me some questions. I put a warm-up here on the screen, but in general I think it's something that people overthink for dunking, and especially if you're young. Right, kids don't warm up for recess, and they're not like tearing their ACL in recess when you're 15. As long as you just kind of scale from 10% to 100%, I think you're fine. If you do have knee pain, Achilles pain, whatever, it's okay to kind of pay some extra attention to that joint, so do some extra range of motion drills. You know, on a day where my knee pain is flared up, I'm definitely going to do some isos beforehand, some more slow squatting. But in general, as long as you're feeling good, I think some light basketball, shooting around, and then just doing jumps at different intensities. So this rim is only 9.6, so you can see like me, I can dunk on this rim with like a 20 or 30% effort jump. So you'll see me progressing through different jumps. I would say at this point, I'm starting to go off vert, maybe like 50 or 60% effort, and just building up over time. One thing I've been really trying to be conscious of in my warm-ups is warming up to different knee angles and trying to keep the knee angles a little bit more consistent. I heard this from Jordan Kilgannon, and he's noticed that a lot of people in their warm-up jumps will get very small knee bend, and honestly in this session you can see me doing that. And then here I'm already warmed up, my knees are bending more. But I think it's worth paying attention to how much you bend your knees and making sure that your warm-up jumps are really just slower versions of your max jumps. Alright, let's take a look at this kid's jump technique. Really nice kid. I didn't get his name, but he came up after he saw me windmill and asked me some questions. You can see him jump right here. At the time, the main advice I just gave him, which is the advice I would give almost every kid, is that it looks pretty good and he just needs to try it more. I suggested doing some one-step jumps from like a lower position. If you watched one of my previous videos with Jason, I gave him the same advice. But in general, you can look at the slow-mo here. If he was had more time with me and I wanted to be going to more depth, I think he needs to accelerate a little bit better and he needs to lower a little bit better. If you kind of compare my jump right there to his jump, he lowers his center of mass all at once at the very end, and he runs into it very bouncily. He almost slows down at the end, right? We want to start slower and then speed up throughout our jump, and we want to start tall and then lower our center of mass throughout the jump. Got a few good dunks in afterwards. I was feeling okay this day. That's why I didn't choose to make a whole video about how great this dunk session was, because it was a pretty normal 9.6 session. But there's a reverse pump, which I've been working on. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be back with some much more detailed videos in the coming weeks. Stay on the lookout for my dunk camp video. That's definitely going to be sick. Thanks for watching.